Hey everybody, Eric with SoloBox. This morning I'm out in the shop. I want to show you guys a couple of things tool-wise that are going on. I've been having problems with this spool gun pushing wire correctly, and I mean it's been getting worse and worse. I guess I just didn't really notice that that was the case, but you know, I don't think I could ask any more of this spool gun. This is the only spool gun that's ever been run here at SoloBox, and I've run so much wire through this that it's actually completely worn through the back of this housing. It's missing some of the hardware. The little window that was supposed to be on here, that finally got lost, actually just a couple of months ago maybe. I pushed a lot of wire through this. A lot of wire, like literally every single SoloBox that's ever been created were created with this gun. And so anyway, I've been having problems with the wire burning back. Like it just didn't seem like it was pushing quite right. And like for a long time, like I've kind of dreaded doing the welding part of my job just because I'd be just really struggling with this gun. And it just here recently got really bad. Actually, this morning I've been like, what is wrong with this thing? And so I just took it back apart and realized that one of the adjustments on it, I don't know how it could have gotten so far out of adjustment, but this was just pinching the hell out of the wire. And I think it was pinching it so hard that the little motor that's in here that's supposed to push the wire actually probably had a bunch of strain on it, and it couldn't push it as fast as it needed to. But what a revelation. Oh my God, I'm pushing beads that are just absolutely beautiful. I couldn't be more thrilled that I figured out what was up with this thing and fixed it. So I'm super stoked about that. Now, another thing tool-wise, you know, a lot of my job is just keeping things within spec and working the way that it's supposed to. One thing I've noticed with this new brake that I bought, I don't know, I think I got this at the beginning of last summer, is that these knobs here, you can see that they measure in thousandths, this little dial here. And if it doesn't stay exactly where it needs to stay, this controls how hard this beam presses down onto the metal. And so if this turns and the other end doesn't, or vice versa, if it gets even the slightest bit out of kilter, you'll see there's just a little tiny gap under here. And you want that gap to remain the same all the way down the length of it. Keeping this in adjustment and exactly where it needs to be is really important, because if, you know, let's say it's not as tight at this end as it is at this end, when you go to make a bend, well, the angle that you end up with, say you're trying to bend a perfect like 45, well, it'll be like 47 and 44, you know? And it's really, it can be very frustrating. And what I finally realized was going on with this new machine, and that's part of it too, is just learning the idiosyncrasies of each different machine. One thing about this machine is that every time I let go of the clamp with my foot here, this is getting banged and it's been spinning. So what I did is I went and bought a mountain bike, a 700, actually I guess that's a road bike tube, a 700C road bike tube, which is this little thin little bicycle inner tube. And I cut a couple of pieces and strapped it around here, and I'm hoping that it's gonna hold this in place so that it doesn't. So what's been happening is I'm building parts and I keep, you know, I'm making bends and making bends and making bends, and I'm not checking this every single time, obviously. And then, you know, I go to put stuff together and my angles aren't 100% perfect. And I'm like, what happened? Well, it was because this, as you're letting go of this clamp and it's coming up, it's spinning that. For what I paid for this tool, it certainly shouldn't do it. And I've been aware of it for a long time. I actually had welded a little something on the back of this, but that's a lot of metal. It's hard to get enough heat in there to really make something strong. I actually put a set screw on the back of this at one point to try to hold it still, and that didn't work. They ended up just popping back off of there. So this is what I've come up with, is this piece of rubber that'll put some tension on the side of this so that it doesn't spin every time that pops up. So wish me luck. I'm hoping that that's going to work out. So anyway, I'm out here just building some top boxes this morning. Asher's in the house watching some Elmo. And you know what? I probably ought to get back to work. So anyway, Eric with SoloBox. Ride safe, everybody. Talk to you later.